Hello. Oh, it didn't work. I thought maybe the camera was going to be right, but of course it's not. Hi, it's me, Scott. How's it going? Did I slurp right into the microphone? Apologize. Hello. Um, have I even streamed this year? I don't know. A little off track. I think I keep. I don't know what this mindset is that I have, where I keep saying like, oh yeah, I'll start the year soon. We're like over 2 weeks into January, and I'm like, yeah, any minute we're gonna start this year. It's no problem. I haven't really started it yet, but we'll get there. I should probably like actually start by doing some kind of work today. I feel like today was the day I said I was going to do that, but I'm not. We'll see. Anyway, hi, it's me. Let's do this puzzle. These puzzles by Blob. So it looks like a series of 6x6 puzzles, which I'm honestly a little afraid of. And I don't know why I feel this way. I just am like a little bit afraid of non 9x9 puzzles because when I do them, I forget that I'm not supposed to use all the digits, and it's a real problem, but I think we're going to try. So presumably all of these are 6x6, and we will try to only place the relevant digits in. So we'll try. I'll try it. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to start with this puzzle, which is a singular sensation. And we'll go, I was already on it. I don't know why I clicked that. We'll go here, and we will try to pick some wallpaper. Some animated wallpaper. What if I just put in snack? I don't really know what to expect. Is everything working audio-wise? The pretzel is functional again, which is good. I'll try to set this. That may be too loud. It kind of looks okay. Let's go with that. We can adjust if needed. So I searched for snack. Not crazy about what I'm seeing here. I don't know really what I was hoping I could do like this. I mean, those are... Okay, maybe we'll go with these toothsome triangles. It makes me think of Alan Wake too. How does this look? I feel like it... I mean, it's a cool shader. I just feel like it is just sort of okay. Let's just try a... just browse. This one was maybe a little too much last time, but what are we gonna do? Cherry Darts, how's it going, buddy? Happy New Year to you, if I haven't said it already. I can't keep track of that. I know there's like some unspoken limit to when you can say Happy New Year, but as I was saying, I haven't really started the new year yet, emotionally. I mean, I kind of have, and then I've been like working on tax stuff, which is, oh boy. These look like broccoli, and broccoli's a delicious snack, so we could do that. So try to pick something a little bit gentle, because understandably, it seems to bother people when I pick something too frenetic. That's too frenetic, see? I mean, I love stuff like this, but it's gonna give someone a seizure or something. Okay, we freeze the browser. Okay. Do love that one. That was a good shader. Incredible. Well, I'm not feeling super inspired. By the oh, that's cute. Look at that. Kind of looks like candy. Oh yeah, what if we just search for candy? Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna pick something soon. That's my commitment to you and to me. Is this freezing the stream when I do this? Let me try. I feel like I've caused problems. Let's try to refresh cache and interact. Are we happy now? Still seems broken. That's too bad. I may have killed... The stream is still working, though. That's unfortunate news. I guess I could try to quickly... No, wait. Are we back? We're back in business. Okay. Candy. Rather than not doing the thing that just caused everything to break, I'm just going to continue to do it. Look at that candy. I need to work on tax stuff. Oof. Oh, that candy. These look like snacks. Camera's a little too animated, unfortunately. A little candy machine. With some beautiful cakes. I feel like we've done this one before, but I'm gonna do it again. Camera's a little herky-jerky. Eesh. Why? This is a problem. We just do like popular. I mean, love that lava. I've already spent too long on this. I didn't mean to do it, but now I'm invested. All the ones that are catching my eye are the ones that are warning. I almost said me eye. Oh my gosh, I'm still... Just need something gentle. Is that a crime? Everything's just a little too... Oh, it's great water. What's hot? Just gonna click the 9. Whatever the last button in the list is my new strategy. This is outrageous. At this point, I just want something gentle. That's all. Oh, that one's amazing, but why is it so crazy? That fractal land's beautiful. What's going on here? Oh man, that is ruining my eyes, but I kind of love it. It only animates where you look at it. Well, that's just baffling and probably a poor choice, but I'm going with it. Okay, I'm gonna do this. It's definitely a poor choice. Oh man. Just want it like magnified a little, you know? I need like a scale. This is probably a poor choice. Okay, we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with this. Okay, let's reset this. I've got off to a bad start. Okay, normal Sudoku's rules apply, but presumably it's 1 through 6. Adjacent digits along a gray line must differ by at least 3. So is this some tomato to the face? I deserve it. Is this some weird 6x6 version of a German whisper or something? Right, because 1 differing by 3, I think it's gonna oscillate. Well, some over here. Oh, numbered rooms. I haven't done many of those puzzles. Clues outside the grid indicate the digit which has to be placed in the nth cell in the corresponding direction, where n is the digit placed in the first cell. So I have to place a 1 in whatever this basically indexes where the 1 goes, I believe is a way to read that. And so is it true that this is going to oscillate? Like it's with the digits 1 to 6. If this is 3, it can only be 6. If it's 1, it could be 4, 5, 6, but it's always high. So I think it is true that this will oscillate thusly, right? And I think it's a thing that's like, we can't put because 3 always has to go next to, let me think about this. 3 always has to go next to 6, and 4 has to always go next to 1. That we can't have 3 or 4 anywhere in here. Is that true? Like if I put a 3 here, the only way I can be 3 away is to put a 6, but then I'd have double 6. And that's true all the way through here. So I think this is a 3-4 pair, kind of the same way you'd have a 4-6 in a normal puzzle. So that is a 1 low and 1 high, and then we have the opposites there. So I think we're going to end up with a thing 2, where a 2, like if we put a 2 in here, it has to be flanked by 5, 6. So, but we have a 3 or a 4, so the 1 has to go in the 3rd or 4th digit. I think we're saying there's a 1 in here, in one of these. So that means one of these has to be a 4. I hope I'm doing this right. Definitely am not certain about that. That does mean that 1... Okay, we could never... Let's say we could never put a 1 here, but I think we can. So we know 1 is in here. If this was the 1, we're effectively saying has to be placed in the nth cell in the corresponding direction, where n is the digit placed in the first cell in that direction. But if I put a 1, then I'm in the 1th cell, and that's where this goes. So I think it actually is possible to have a 1 there. Otherwise, this would be a 2, and this would be the 1. So this is either just is a 1, or it's a 2, and that's the 1. So this is 1 or 2, I think. What's going to go on in here? I don't know. If the 1 was here, it would mean that red is low. Right. Oh my gosh, Frostpunk 2 official game trailer. I've been waiting for that game for so long. We definitely know. How do I want to say this? We know there's a 2 on here, for example, and we know that that 2 has to be flanked by 5, 6. So like if this is the 2, then that's 5, 6. And if this is the 2, that's 5, 6, and that's 5 or 6, right? And we're going to have a similar thing with 5. Where 5 has to be next to, like flanked by 1, 2. So that's not 1, 2. Sorry, it's not 1, 3, or 4. That's 2, 5, or 6, right? Because it's definitely not 1. This is also 2, 5, 6. Because it's not 1. No. Yeah. Sorry. The 1's over here. We said the 1 is in here for reasons I don't remember. Because of this. So this is not 1. and it's not 3 or 4. So that's 2, 5, or 6. If it's 2, this is a 5, 6 pair. If it's 5, it's a 1, 2 pair. If it's a 6, these can be from 1, 2, or 3. It's probably something very obvious that I'm failing to recognize here. We know that one of these is a 4, right? One way or another, we have to index this 1. So 4 is definitely over here. So there's no 4 in the 11 cage. I don't know if that really matters. It does. Okay, so I'm saying 4 has to be here or here because we're talking about this. That means there's no 4 in the 11 cage. And if there's no 4 in the 11 cage, it can only be a 2, 3, 6 cage. Apparently. So that's 2, 3, 6. If 1 goes here, this is right. We can't put a 1 here. There's no 1s in here. If we try to put a 1 here, then this is a 3 because it will be indexing 3, and that doesn't work because the 3 is definitely in here. So this is a 1, 4 pair, and this is a 5, and that means that green is the high digit. So that's not 2. That's not 1. So that's the 1. That's not 5 or 6. So it just is 2. And what did we say? Did I break the puzzle? No, I think it's still just possible. Because this can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So this is 6 flanked by 1, 2, and then that's a 5, and this 5 will be flanked by 1, 2. And the 2 did get the 5, 6 like we wanted. That's 4, that's 1. There's no 6 in there, so 6 is in there, which obviously this is 2, 3, 4. If a tomato, did I make a mistake? Would not surprise me. This 1 is indexing itself. This 1 is indexing that, so that seems okay. This 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4 is the 4, so this is the 3. I deserve that, tomato. This 1 how's it going? 2, 4, and 5. It's like 2, 4, and 5. Or is it ein? This beautiful pack was linked to me by Blobz. Wait, are you asking for this puzzle pack? This snack pack of puzzles? I can link you right here. I don't know if you meant the puzzle pack or if you were referring to the background. Wait, how do I pronounce I? Is EY pronounced I? Ain. Okay, the ain and propane. Got it. Okay, what I think we have to do, I realize this puzzle is supposed to be easy and I'm going very slowly through it, but I think we need to think about these other ones we're trying to index. We know this is going to be 1 or 2, so this 1 is down here. Ain, propane, 2, 4, ain, 5. 24. That's fair. 24 or 2, 4. Or 4 and 20. When I was 1 and 20, I heard a wise man say, give pounds and crowns and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free. But I was 1 in 20, no use to talk to me. When I was 1 in 20, I heard him say again, the heart out of the bosom is never given in vain. 'Tis paid with sighs of plenty, and sold for endless rue. And now I am 2 in 20, and oh, 'tis true, 'tis true. This is 3, 4, 6. I feel like I'm missing something extremely obvious here. We just need to think about this indexing, I'm sure. This is not a 1, so this is not a 6. Right? Because this obviously can't be 1 because of this, but if we put a 6 here, that would be 1. It's not 5. These two digits are the same digit. So what can these be? Oh, interesting. Okay. If I tried to make this a 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this should be a 5. So this is the 2. This is the 1, I think. This is the 2. That's not a 2. That's not a 2. 24. That is a 4, 6 pair. So we actually decide where to put it. This song is awful, by the way. What is this? Carol. Is the music too loud? It feels like it's bordering on too loud for me. It's hard to set. Okay, how about that? Okay, yeah, this is supposed to be an easy snack, and I'm really not doing well. We have this is the 4th digit. This is the 2th digit. This is either, this could be the 1th digit. I mean, it's only, okay, 1's, 1 is in one of these places, right? So it's either 6 and 1, or it can't, 1 can't be here for the same reason we just talked about. Because that would need 5 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 is in one of these, and then the other one is a 6. So this is a 1, 6 pair, meaning that's a 3, a 2, a 6, a 6, a 1. So that's not a 2. We get a 3, 4 pair. We get a 3, 4, 6 triple. Okay, so we indexed. We've done all of our indexing. Did I make a mistake though? Oh no, Ben. Ophelia discovered Baby Shark? How did this happen? How did you let this happen? Was it because that eating vegetables, the broccoli song, was a fate worse than Baby Shark, and so you opted for Baby Shark? Ah, why would the daycare do that to you? Somebody's out to get you. That's not an accident. It doesn't happen accidentally. This is 4, 5, 6. I think I just am missing Sudoku here. So let's just do some of this. That is a 4, 6 pair. So that is a 3. That's a 4. That is a 2, 5 pair. So that's a 5. That's a 2. This is a number. That is a 5. This is 6 and 3. And we know that order. This, we need a 2 and a 5. This, we need a 1 and a 3. And that, I think, unwinds everything. Oops. Okay, that took me 20 minutes, which I think they're supposed to be tiny snacks, but I'll take it. I'm trying to think of a song that's even more annoying than that, and I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like, if you wanted to try to fight fire with fire, which is a dangerous game, I don't encourage you to do that. Okay, so we need to enter the solution code, which is row 1 followed by column 1. So row 1 followed by column 1. Uh-oh. Is that wrong? Row 1. What about column 1? Wait, it says congrats, I've solved the puzzle, but it's not letting me rate it. What's... Oh, I'm not logged in. Good heavens. Good heavens. The background is very silly. I'll explain it in 1 second. Logic Masters. Wait, you want Ben to rickroll his infant daughter? I don't know. This feels like something that could backfire. Okay. Now, this difficulty, I'm gonna call it easy. I'm gonna say it was very nice. I really liked the way the pressure of the rooms battled it out. The background is, so in reality, I just wrote a whatever Grease Monkey script, whatever it is, that also let me do the copy that I just did, that changes the puzzle to, let me see, I can turn it off and show you what it really looks like. So I just have a filter, a chroma key filter. So this is very silly, but I have a Grease Monkey script that whenever I go to one of the Sudoku sites, just automatically changes the CSS to make the background lime green. And then I have a, then I chroma key that out. And then just in OBS, I have like Shader Toy running in a browser in the background. So there's certainly, I could have done it. Lots of ways I could have done it, but that was an easy way. Okay, that was lovely. Oh no! Wait, good thing I gave that URL. Baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark. Okay, now we want to do Two's Company. Oh, this is adorable. So is all of these just focus on the number. So it's the same rules. So we have some strange whisper. We do have Kropke, and we have numbered rooms again. So once again, this whisper, this careless whisper, that's what you should get your children to listen to. It's George Michael. So we know there's going to be an oscillation. We know certain things about like 3s and 4s have a hard time being on the trail. Like down here, annoyingly this could be 3 or 4 though, but we can't have 3 or 4 anywhere in here. Okay, where do we start? We've got this one Kropke dot. We have 2 of 1 polarity. This could span polarities, I guess. In other words, it could be 3, 4, which is something that doesn't happen on normal whispers, careless whispers. So what does this mean? This means 2 is allowed on these lines, but it is somewhat restrictive because it has to be flanked by 5, 6 if we put 2 on the line. Let me lay it on the line. He had 2 on the vine. It's a song about George Washington. Okay, this one, the problem is this seems reasonable. And annoyingly, I don't think we have to kick off 3 or 4, but not necessarily both, because this could just be 3 next to 6, for example. Is there something clever about the way the 2s are gonna duke it out? We don't have the like face-off that we had in the previous puzzle. I mean, it feels like we're certainly restricted down here. Like this digit could be a 5 only if it's flanked by 1, 2. Oh, this digit is never a 1 because 1's self-index, which we did see in the last puzzle, but we can't do here. So this is not a 1, which is great. So the digit that goes in here has to be flankable. And here, and here. These digits all have to be happy with being flanked, which is 1, 2, 5, 6. This could never be a 1. This annoyingly can be 3 or 4. Oh, that's sort of interesting what actually works out in terms of making this a 6 means that this is the 2, which means it would have to be opposite polarity, but it is opposite polarity, so it's actually okay. Oh, that's kind of interesting actually. We have to be cautious of that. Like it feels like it would be pretty easy to screw that up somehow. Well, this can't be a 2. This can't be a 2 because, okay, it obviously can't be 1 because 1 is self-indexing. But if I put a 2 here, that's saying 1, 2, that the 2 goes here, and I have 2 2s. So that's not 2. So I think these are high digits. Right? And we're saying that 3, these can't be, this can't be 4. These can't be 3. So we get a 1, 2 pair. This annoyingly can be 4. That means this digit is... Well, this digit also can't be 2. If I put a 2 here, then I have to put a 2 here. That was a strange way to say that. But 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that has to be 4. That has to be 1. So that is a 5, 6 pair. So that is a 3. That takes the 4 off there. The 2 off there. 3 would mean that these both had to be 6, but that I think is allowed. I'm just looking to see if there's any other. So we have indexed this. We're saying this 2 is definitely here or here. So there's definitely a 2 in here. This 2, this can't be a 2 because then this again would be 2 and 2. So that's not a 2. There's just 1 or 3. Blobz is, I hesitate to say this because part of me is like, well, I shouldn't pick favorites. There's a lot of incredible setters. Some of whom I really like. I definitely have some favorite setters, and I'm constantly shocked by how smart and clever people are with their puzzles. Having said all of that, and having said I don't want to pick a favorite, Blobz is the best. Blobz is the best setter. Well, Blobz puzzles never fail to delight, except when I fail to do them. But I don't think I've ever been totally bested, by, like brick-walled by a Blobz puzzle. I definitely have had to restart quite a few after making silly mistakes, but yeah, Blobz puzzles. fine puzzle. If this was here, this would be 4, and that seems like a reasonable thing. Oh, this... Well, this could be 4 because this could be double. Okay. We gotta think about our indexing a little bit. This can't be a 2, because then that's a 2. So that little trick comes in handy very often, it would seem. In this particular puzzle. What if I need to think more about polarity? I guess that places the 2 here. Which places the 6 here. Said that was the 4 for the 2. That's 5 or 6. This 2 is at 6. So this is not a 6. So neither of these can be 3, because the only way we could have a 3 is if we had a 6 here, but this is 4 or 5. We have to always be 3 away. So there's no 3. So this is a double 1. Just shocker. 2 is just floating around up here. That is not 2. I hadn't really thought about whether it actually could be 2. That puts a 4 here. Means no 4s here, so we get another 5, 6 pair. It's actually, but it's not necessarily a pair. So I shouldn't say pair, because it's possible that these are both 6 and this is a 3, I think. And we can't think of this as a pair when thinking about this, unfortunately. We've placed all of our 2s. We've placed most of our 1s. That is a 3, so it is allowed for this to be a double 6. What a shock. We placed a 2 in the 5th cell, so that's a 5 and that's a 6, which is okay because 5 can be next to 2. That appears to just be a 4. Making that a 4. Making this 5, 6. Making that a 1, and making this the other half of the 5, 6 pair, and it sees a 6. So that's 5, that's 6, which is okay because it's next to a 3, which forces that to be a 6, which forces that to be a 5, and that a 3. Which means that's the 5, and that's the 3. Which means this is a digit known as a 2. I thought we had placed all the 2s, but apparently not. 4 next to double 1s is okay. Oops, what'd I do? Oh no, I made a mistake. I made a mistake somewhere. Rats. When did I make the mistake? Do I have any mistakes right this minute in terms of the... By saying that's a 3, we force a 5, 6 there, which should have, I'm seeing now, forced this 3. This 2 is in the 1, 2, 3, 4th position. This 2 is in the 6th position. I feel like I've got a problem here. 3 needs to be sequential. It's got to go next to the 4, so that has to be the 5. I don't know what I've done. I'm worried though. That makes that the 5. That the 4, and that the 6. I really don't know what I did. That places a 5 here. Dang it! Okay. I kind of feel like I should just start over because I don't know where I screwed up. That's embarrassing. I'm just going to start over because I feel like otherwise I'm just going to be guessing as to where I messed up. So one thing I feel confident saying is that we can't put a 2 next to a 2 because it would be talking about putting a 2 there. So that means 2 is not here because that would be saying 2 is 2 away when it's really right there. 2 is not there because that would be saying that we have a 2 here and a 2 there. That means 2 is also not there. Right? Is there something wrong with my thinking on this? If I try to put a 2 here, I'm saying, okay, I'm indexing this and I need to put a 2 here, and that's bad. And if I try to put a 2 here, I'm saying, okay, I'm indexing that, that's a 2. So I don't think I can have 2s anywhere in there. So I think that is a 2. I think there is a 2 down here. And I think that that makes this 4, 5, or 6, right? Because we're indexing in that direction. What silly mistake did I make? That's frustrating. So that, we're saying that is definitely a high digit. And what else are we saying? Saying there's definitely a 2 over here. Saying that if this is a 2, then this is a 5, 6 pair. This 2, maybe that's where I screwed up. In terms of like thinking of the options for this 2, because it could be 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, it's high-ish. I think it's the same thing there, that that's going to be high-ish. This one only couldn't be 3 because it was looking at that. Otherwise, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be allowed. Making that a 5 makes that a 4. Now, I don't even actually remember how we broke into this, but hey. Two's in there. So thinking again about this one, what it actually can be. It's definitely not a 2, we've decided, but it's not a 3. Oh, right. It's not 3 or 4, because if it's 3, then it would have to be double 6, and if it's 4, it'd have to be double 1. That's how we got rid of these. That's not 3 or 4, so that is 5, 6. So that is 1. So those are all 4, 5, 6. These are all 1, 2, 3. It's not a 1. I don't know if that's any different than what I did previously, but this is not a 3, because a 3 would be double 6, so that is a 2. And that is the 4th digit. That's not a 4, so we still get that 5, 6 pair, so I don't know. Let's just try not to break it in the same way I broke it the first time. What's the goal here? That means this 2 is definitely over here somewhere. And that means this is not a 2. That's not a 4. This 2 is not a 6, so it has to be a 5, making that the 4. What silly mistake did I make? That's not a 4, that's not a 2, that's not a 4. That is a 6. That is not a 6, so these can never be 3s, right? We saw that last time. 3 is not 3 away from those digits. So this is, oops, that is a double 1. Index that, we've indexed that. This is not a 3 because there's a 2 there. It's not a 4. It's not a 5. So that is a 6. That's a 2. This is the same as what we got last time. So I don't know if that's good or bad. So we've done our indexing, I think. And now we just need to think about our whisper. You know, I think I got into trouble with ones, actually. Maybe that's what I just bad pencil marked. This is going to be 4, 5, right? So we get a 4 or 5 pair up here. So that's going to be a 2, 3 pair. If that's the 3, that's the 2. This is what we ended up with, though, with the 3 going with... 3 is going to have to go with the 4 to be sequential. That's going to be 5. That's going to be 5. Pushes a 5 up here. That's 6, so that is allowed to be a 3. That's 3. You're 4. You're 6. This is going to be 1, 3. This is... That's a 3. So that's a 4. So that is allowed to be a 6. So that seems okay. This is a 2, 3 pair. This is a 2, 5 pair. That's the 6, which we knew because it's next to a 3. So that's good to have that validation. Oops, that's a 5. That's a 1. That's a 4. So I don't know what I did last time. I think it was maybe in pencil marking the ones I screwed up. Okay. So that was number 2. Solution code, row 2 followed by column 2. That's very cute. Okay, that might be the best part of this puzzle, is that the solution codes also follow the theme. That's pretty cute. Difficulty was easy. It was a very nice, even though I made a silly mistake. And my favorite part about it isn't even the puzzle. It's just that the solution code is also thematically appropriate. Okay, 3 in the corner. Do you think there's actually going to be a 3 in the corner here? Okay, we've got rim bands this time. We've got killer. We've got a quadruple, which I love. Quadruples are potentially secretly... I was going to say they're secretly my favorite constraint. That's probably not true, because I think deep in my heart, like, Kropke dots and V's, maybe just V's, not even KV, just V's I really like, and black Kropke dots really like. But quadruples I'm always pleased to see. Little killers, skyscraper also, gosh. That is a lot. It's a lot going on in a 6x6 grid. That's kind of insane. So this is Little Killer. This just is a 1, 2. Is that what we're seeing? This is also 33. So, sorry, we're saying that need to sum. That can only be 1, 2. So this can only be, to be sequential with 1, 2, this can only be 1, 2, 3, which seems valid. We know the 3 is over here. Just by stuff, you know, stuff going on. That's a 1, 2 pair, and that's a 1, 2 pair. We got to think about these skyscrapers. This is definitely going to be higher than whatever this skyscraper is. Okay, anyway, we got to think about rim bands as well. Probably. Could this be a 3? I think so. So these are full. These are full. Meaning that this is going to be the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can see that these are not 1, 2. So this is not 1, 2, nor is it 3. This is not 1, 2, but could be 3. This also can't be 1, 2, but could be 3. Just thinking about 1, 2s. I don't think it's necessarily rolled out of here. It's probably some way, some reason that's true. This is not going to be 1, 2. None of these are 1, 2. So, is that true? This 1, 2 pair means none of these can be 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 1, 2 have to be on here. So that's 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2's going on in the neighborhood. That gives us that 1, 2 pair and that 1, 2 pair. So we're doing great in terms of 1s and 2s. This is a 1, 2 pair. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Somewhere in here is a 1, 2 pair, but this is not necessarily a 1, 2 pair. That would only be if that was 3. And that was 2. And that was 1. Do need to take care of 1, 2 in here somewhere and 1, 2 in here somewhere. Maybe that's a better way to state the problem. Kind of feel myself resisting thinking about this skyscraper. It's definitely 1, 2 in here somewhere. I have another skyscraper up here I gotta think about. This last digit can't be seen, and this digit won't be seen. Could that be the 3? I feel like I'm missing something extremely obvious. We probably need to be thinking about the skyscrapers, which I'm just not good at thinking about skyscrapers. I mean, from the perspective of this skyscraper, these are pretty high digits. 3, 4, 5, 6, because we have the 1, 2 pair in here. We have the 1, 2 pair here. And this can't be a 3. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, so it's pretty high. Just to be sequential with this, which we probably knew already, but whatever. So we definitely can't see this, and we definitely can't see this. So we have to decide what in here can't we see. But it's going to be the 3, I guess, but because we have to hide one more digit. Well, it doesn't have to be the 3, actually, because this could be like 3, 5, 6, and that's the 4 or something, so never mind. We have said definitively that the 3 is in here for some reason. Oh yeah, because of those. So that's actually not a 3. And that's 4, 5, 6. So there's absolutely a 3 back here. That means that this is this true? That's definitely not 1, 2. That's definitely not 1, 2. These definitely not. So this is a 1, 2 pair. That could still be the 1, 2 pair, I think, though. That could be 3, 4, 5, 6. Need the other half of this 1, 2 pair, which can't go up here because it's seen. So the only other place for the other half of the 1, 2 pair is here. So we get a 1, 2 pair. So this is a 3. So that has to be a 2, a 1. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 2. That's a 1. So all our 1, 2 pairs get untangled, which is nice. That's a 1. Okay. We have one more low digit. The 1 up here goes over here. We have all of our 1, 2s now, I think. We knocked the 3s off of there and the 3s off of there. So we did get 1, 3. That's a 4, 5, 6. Oops. So this is a 3. That's a 4, 5, 6. So this 3 is accounted for. So we definitely need a 3 up here. So this is definitely not a 3, so it's also a 4, 5, 6. And this is just a 3, 4, 5, 6. That seems like that could still be a 3. One of these is definitely a 3. Because this line still needs a 3. So these are just 4, 5, or 6. That's just 4, 5, 6. Oops. Scojo, how's it going? I'm doing completely over-the-top pencil marking. We're never going to see the 3. If we put a 6 here, we only see 1 digit. If we put a 5 here, we will see most 2 digits. So we have to have a 4 here. That can't be any less than 4. Your 3 is there. Your 3 is there. There's no 4 here, so we need to be thoughtful. If we try to put a 6 here, we will only see 2 digits. We'd see the 4 and the 6. So there's no 6 there. So the 6 is up here, so there's no 6 over here. I'm sure this is very, very obvious. Got our 3 taken care of. Have a 5, 6 pair there. Three's definitely down here with the other half of this 5 or 6. 6 is definitely in here. I'm sure it's sideline. Okay, it's same logic up here, actually. 6 means we only see 1 digit, which is not good. 5 means we could only ever see the 5 or 6. So that has to be 4. And so this has to be 3 or 5 for the white Kropke dot. That is not 4. That means the 6 is definitely over here, so that's not 4 or 6. So your 6 is definitely here. That's not 4. Okay, if we try to put 6 here, we will only see 2 digits, the 4 and the 6, so that has to be 5, 6, 4, 5, 3, 6. It's not a 3. 4, 5, 6 triple. That's the 5. That's the 3. Oh no! What's wrong with your computer? The Sudoku Pad mobile app is not terrible. It's okay. It's just entering solutions sucks. Okay. So, did we actually do this right? We see 4, then we see 5, and then we see 6. So we see 3. So that's good. Here we only see 4. So right now we only see 1 digit. And if we put 6 here, we'd only see 2. So this has to be 5 and this has to be 6. There's no 5 there. There's no 6 here. We already have a 6 on this line. So that's the 6, the 4, the 5. That's the 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 4. That's the 5. Cute. Oh, computers. I've been putting it off for like a year. I built that new PC. I still use it. It's just in the living room. But I'm very anti like switching equipment in the middle of a job, and just the obviously I could have made it happen, but the way the timing worked last year with that big job in the summer and the big job in the fall, I just didn't want to like mess with my setup because that has bitten me in the past, like mid-job changing your tools. And so I haven't done it, but I need to like offline. Thank you. I need to like take this system down and swap in the new one, and I just am hesitant to do it. I love that the solutions are thematically appropriate. Love it. Excuse me. Easy and very nice. Okay, we're just breezing through these. It almost makes you feel not bad at Sudoku. Petite for a little. Oh, look at that beautiful grid. Love it. What a charming little grid. Okay, in this case, we've got rim bands again. We've got killer cages. We've got another quadruple. We've got another little killer, another skyscraper. So I think it's the same rule set as last time minus the Kropke dots. 4 in a Sudoku is always 1-3, right? The arrangement of these quads is really something. So this can't be a 1, or this would be a 4. So this is 3. That's a 1. So this is the 4. So this 4 is taken care of. So there is a 4 up here. Oops. And this 4 means that's a 5. And these are all 6 digits long. One of those is a 4. So one of these is a 4. I don't really know how I want to pencil mark that, actually. These quads on these boundaries like this is kind of weird. We do have skyscrapers again. No, I broke the puzzle. What did I do? Wait, did I just totally break the puzzle? Because this... Why did I... Wait, what am I doing? Why did I put a... That can't be a 5. Oh, okay. Sorry, I feel like I was talking and not really paying attention to what I was doing. Let's try this again. 4 in a killer cage is always 1-3, right? That just has to be true. And to... Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I still had rooms in my mind, and so I was doing room rules. These are not rooms. These are skyscrapers. So I was trying to use numbered room rules foolishly. For some reason I saw this one as a numbered room and this one as a skyscraper. I don't know why I would do that, but it's kind of weird. Kind of a weird thing for me to do. So I think that's just sort of interesting. I don't know quite how to deal with this yet, but our 4s are consumed here. So these digits are not 4s, which means there is definitely a 4 here and a 4 here. So then these digits aren't 4s. I don't really know how to pencil mark that. Or if I want to. I guess another thing we have to think about too is like the 1-3. The fact that we've eaten the 1-3 of this line means that we do have to get one of these has to be, we have to get 1-3 up here somewhere. Well, okay, here's a way to ask that, is where on this line is this digit? It's not there, so I think that's 1-3 again. I don't immediately know what to say about that, but there you have it. We know there's no 4 in here, right? Because we said these 4s are going to eat all of these 4s, meaning there's definitely a 4 there, so there's no 4 there, so there is a 4 in here. Or whatever that's worth. This 4 does not necessarily have to be on this line, though, because it can escape. We have a slightly similar 1-3 problem with this line, but it's not as... Well, both this line and this box, really. And this digit one of these is this digit, is this 1, 3. But I think that's not the thing I'm supposed to think about. I'm supposed to be thinking about, like, the pressure of the 4s is really interesting. There's definitely a 4 in here, and there's definitely a 4 in here. So there's no 4s in here. So there's definitely a 4 in here, and there's definitely a 4 in here. Is that every 4 in the puzzle? I think it is. Helio, how's it going? I keep calling you Heliopolix, but then I think I heard Scojo call you Heliopolix, which really rolls off the tongue better. Is it Heliopolix? Heliopolix sounds very clumsy, but you know, I'm from Texas. I don't know how to say words. Words are difficult. So I guess what I'm trying to argue is that every 4 in this puzzle is in this arrangement, because these 4 eat the possibility there being 4s in here, but then I have to do this, and then that's all 4s accounted for. Heliopolis. 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 I lived in Minneapolis for a while. I like polises. I feel like I'm not allowed to say that I lived in Minneapolis because I only was there. I was there for like between 6 and 9 months, but I didn't actually live there during the winter. And I feel like if you don't stay at least one winter, you can't even say you lived there. There used to be this rule. I don't know where I picked it up, but like you had to live somewhere 6 winters to say you were from a place, which I still don't know that I fully agree with. But I've been in Portland 6 winters now. Okay, I'm saying all the 4s are addressed here, right? I think that's what I'm saying. No, that's not true. I'm sorry, that's not true at all. Because okay, sorry. It's not true. There's other 4s. Yeah, Ben, I'm from here. I was born here. I've been here my whole life. I am taking a step that is probably, I shouldn't mention because it's probably slightly illegal. I don't have a car, so I've never changed my ID. And also, I didn't actually mean to stay in Portland. I just have for so long. But I'm finally changing my license to be to Oregon instead of Texas. And it's an emotional thing because I've, you know, the strong Texas identity. Yeah, I'm pretty uncomfortable with it, frankly. Okay, sorry. There's no 4s in here. So what do I think about that? Kind of nothing. I was hoping the 1s and 3s would put some pressure. Yeah, I agree. Like that definitely claims there's 4s in the neighborhood. I just don't quite know what to do with that logic. I mean, I guess it lets me say, no, it is fair to say that this is not 1, 3, or 4, right? Because we know the 4s are in here. For sure. There's a 4 here or here. And there's a 4 here and here. And because of the 1, 3, so these are 2, 5, 6. Similarly, this is 2, 5, 6. And I guess this is 2, 5, 6 because it sees 1, 3 and it sees this 4. Does that seem true? No, I should probably think with my brain. Oh, but there's a 4 down here. We already said this, right? How did I determine this? I don't remember. We said there's a 4 down here. For reasons that were, what reason? The reason was, why did I say there was a 4 down here? The reason I said a 4 down here was the following reason, which is that well, I mean, we can see it's true, actually, right? Because it's not 1 or 3. And so it's obviously not in here. And we just said it's not in here because of this. So it is definitely there. So that's not the 4. So this is the 4. And if that's true, this little 4 wing, there's no 4s in here. So that's a 4. Okay, that was easier to see, I'm sure. That means that we have the 4 on this line, so we still need a 4 on this line. So this is the 4. We know that the other half of the one, this 1 3 is up here somewhere. We need a 4 over here. Okay, is 4 just gonna bounce all over the place now? I was thinking about the 4. Maybe I don't know yet. I mean, obviously there's a 4 in here. Oh. Am I screwing things up? 4 in here. If I try to put a 4 here, I could only ever see 4, 5, and 6. So I could only ever see 3. So I can't have a 4 here. So this is the 4. Oh, right. Well, also there's already a 4 on that rim band, which would be the sane person way to see that. That means that's a 4. Do I have all my 4s? For 4s. Yeah, Helio, I'm following you just slowly. Slow. Just idling along. 2, 5, 6. So what do we want to do now? If we think about this needs to be lower than 4. If we think about this could not be a 6 because then we would only see 2 digits. It can't be a 5 because we'd only see 3 digits, right? Because we would only see whatever this digit is and the 5 and then the 6, wherever it was, is all we'd ever see here. So that would only be 3. So that's a 2. That's not a 2. That's a 5, 6. So this is 1, 5, 6. No, sorry, the 3's over here too. That was a silly pencil mark. It was a silly pencil mark and I'm embarrassed for making it. This is not, so this is just 2, 5, 6. So this rim band has to have a 1 on it. And it's going to be in here. So that's not a 1. I just feel like I got very clumsy all of a sudden. It's because Scojo and Helio showed up and now I'm self-conscious. I'm going to blame them. It's not their fault. It's definitely not their fault. The 5 and 6 in this land. So we need the other half of the 5, 6 over here. Okay, right. We need we know there's a 2 over here for multiple reasons. I was about to say a complicated reason, but there's a very simple reason, is that there's already 2 on the rim band. So there's a 2 over here. So there's a 2 over here. So that's not a 2. There's a 2 here or here. This rim band is going to have to get a 2 from somewhere, and it can only get it from up there. You are not a 2. That means that the only place for a 2 is you. You get a 5, 6 pair on the rim band, so there's no 5, 6. So that is another 1, 3 pair. So that is another 5, 6 pair. This is annoyingly 1, 3, 5, 6. There's probably a way to see this. This actually puts the 5, 6 pair way in the back. So weirdly, in this case, we almost have to be worried about seeing too many digits instead of too few. I can feel my brain just not wanting to think about this right now. We need to see 4 digits. We will definitely see this 4 because everything ahead is lower than that. So we certainly see that. So this could be like 3, 4, 5, 6, or well, this is a 1, we're going to see too many, right? Because if this is a 1, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 or 6. So we're going to see all 4. If this is a 1, we see all 4 of these, and we see at least one of these digits. So that's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 1. I'm going to ignore that for a moment. Oh my gosh, am I being graded? I knew this day would come. What are we doing? So this is 3, 5, or 6. So there's a 3 in here, 5, 6. The 2 is over here with the other half of that. This is, oh, we just need a 1, 3 here for this rim band. We get a 1, 3 pair, so that's another 5, 6 pair. That 5-6 pair. We have like a 1-2-3-ish triple that feels like it doesn't work for some reason. We know there's a 2 over here though. We have that 1-3, we have 2-4, so that's also 5-6. We have the 5-6 on this rim band, we have a 1-2-3 on this rim band. How are our rim bands doing? Seem like they're doing well. You got your 4, you got your 4, you got your 4, so the quads are all doing well. This sees 1, 2. So this is going to have to go 5-6 to be able to see the rest of that skyscraper, I think. This is a 2-5 pair. That's the 2. That's the 5. The 6. The 5. You're not the 2, but we definitely needed a 2 over here. So that's the 2. 3-6 pair. So you're 1-3-6. You're just 3-6. What did I miss? We see 1, 4, 5, 6. We see 4 digits going that way. We see 2, 4. If we put a 6 here, we'll only see 3 digits. So that's the 3, the 6. So we see 2, 4, 5, 6 going that direction. So that seems okay. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 6, 1, 3. Great. That like weird first of all, I love the way that grid looks, but the 4 interaction was really cool. Oops, we got to do the solution for 4. Row 4, column 4. Call it easy. It was very nice. Yeah, I like the way the 4s bounced around, even though I had trouble dialing it in. Really liked it. Oh no, not the International Sudoku Committee of Judgment officials. Oh wait, the Scojo? Wait a minute. I didn't know that you were an entire governing body. I should have known that. Okay, this puzzle looks simpler. There seem to be fewer rules in this one. Or is it the same? We don't have a little killer here. So we only have this weird truncated whisper. And we got a killer cage and we got a skyscraper. It was a dirty trick. Blobz, if you're watching this, I feel like it was it was a dirty trick to switch from numbered rooms to skyscrapers. Maybe you even went back and forth a few times. I don't even know. Okay, 5 is always 1, 4, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, or 4, 3. 5 here is not going to be a 1. It's obviously not a 2. I don't know if we know yet. We know this is going to oscillate. We know... What do we know? I was just thinking about... these cannot be 3 or 4, right? Because 3 or 4 here puts like double their friend. 3 would require double 6s. So these are not 3 or 4. So these 1, 2, 5, 6. But we said that this can't be a 1 because it would be self-indexing. It can't be a 2 because there's no 5s there. So I think that gives us the polarity of these. But we've just said that that can't be a 4. Neither of these can be 3, right? Because they're friends. We would see both sides. That'd be double 6. This can't be a 4 because that would be double 1. Double 1 is okay there, but this can't be a 3 because that would be double 6. Double 1 is okay. Double 6 is okay. 4, double 1 is okay, but this can't be a 4. So we can't put a 5 here. That's true for... Uh-oh. I think I broke the puzzle. This can't be 6, but it also can't be 5. Unless I missed my coloring. Okay, I'm just starting over. 1, 4, or 2, 3. Let's color these again. I'm sure I could have recovered from that, but I've only been going for a couple minutes, so probably just an outrageously silly mistake. Okay, let's think about that again. In this cell specifically, could it be high? And I was going to tell you that I thought it could be. That it could be 4, 5, or 6. It can't be 4, right? This is a whisper line because that would be double ones, right? Can't be 5 because it would be saying that 5 is in the 5th position. You'd have 2 5s. And it can't be 6 because 6 is opposite polarity. So this is 1, 2, 3. How did I get that? Uh-oh. What did I do wrong? It's definitely not a 1. And it's definitely not a 2. 3 would be... No. Okay, what have I done? I've just made some silly mistake. I don't quite understand. Okay, sorry. Oh my gosh, it's skyscrapers, not numbered... I just said that. I just said it, too. I just said that. That's amazing. These are skyscrapers, not numbered rooms. And I just said moments ago how sneaky it was. Even though this time I have no excuse because the last puzzle was skyscrapers. Okay, first of all, Scojo, as the governing body of all things Sudoku, I have a problem with the fact that skyscrapers and numbered rooms look the same. And I would like to lodge a formal complaint. What a silly mistake. Okay, I apologize. This is definitely a skyscraper. Obviously, it's a skyscraper. Obviously, a skyscraper. Obviously, it's a skyscraper, so it has to be low. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know it's not a 3 or 4 because of the flanking. If we know it's not a 1 because it can't be a 1. We know it's not a 2 because there's no 5 there. So I was actually correct the first time in this regard, but then we'll think about this in a second. That still seems impossible. Wait. Hang on. What did I do wrong this time? I said it was... I did it again. I'm doing it again. Oh my gosh. I was about to argue that these had to be low. Okay. My brain is falling to pieces. I apologize. This is definitely not a 3 or a 4. I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. It's not a 3 or 4 because of this. It definitely can't be a 5 or a 6 because this is a skyscraper. This is a skyscraper. This digit here, skyscraper. If it was a 5, it could only ever be 2. If it was 6, it could only be a 1. My goodness. So, wait, I just said that backwards, didn't I? I quit. I don't really quit, but I just am losing my mind a little bit. This needs to see 5 digits. This has to be low, right? It has to be. It's not a 5 or 6, right? This is definitely low. This has to see 5 digits. It has to be low. These are all low. These are all high. I don't know why I'm just falling apart here. Okay, I apologize. That's very silly. This is definitely not a 3 because that would be double 6s. That's not a 4 because it would be double. That is not a 3 because it would be double 6s. This is not. This could be a 3 with double 6s. This is not a 4 because it would be double 1s. This is not a 4 because it would be double 1s. That is allowed to be double 6s. That is allowed to be double 1s. That is allowed to be double 6s. That is allowed to be double 1s. This is not a 3 because that is not allowed to be double 6s. So embarrassing. If this... Yeah, it has to be 1 or 2. I don't know why I'm struggling this much. It's embarrassing. The fact that this is a 1 or a 2 is fine. It just means its buddy is in here along with whatever it needs to make the 5. Can't believe the rigmarole I just went through. This is scary though. This 5. Well, this can't be a 6 because then this would have to be 4, right? I would only be able to see 4 digits. So that's the 5 and that's the 6. That is not a 6. That is the 5. 5 can't go next to a 3. And 5 can't go next to a 3. Okay, Scojo, as soon as you said you were grading me, I just fell to pieces. This 5 means there's definitely a 5 up here. I don't know if I care about that. Oh, well, I have a 1-2 pair right here. So I've broken the puzzle. What? How did I just lose my ability to do... I was doing fine on those other puzzles, and now I've just... No, I didn't break it. I'm sorry. This is not 1-2, that's 3 or 4, so this is the 1-2. Okay. I think we're okay. Now I've like lost all faith and confidence in myself. Okay, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. This digit is lower than 5, which everyone knows. This digit, this sequence has to be in order. But it could still be 2, 3, 4 with a 1, I guess. I know, I can't believe, I don't know why I just got so tilted. I feel like I was doing fine earlier, and now it's over. Okay, 5s. What are we doing? If that is a 4, this is a 1, and that's a 2. This is definitely a 1-2 pair. That's definitely a 1-2 pair. That could be a 4 if that's double 1. Okay. We're gonna get back on track here, everybody. That's only a 3 if those are double 6. So I guess we need to think about our heights a little bit. Because we need to basically see every digit except for 1. Like in this case, we can only miss 1 digit. But I think we can miss kind of any digit we want as long as these are sequential. But this is the 1 digit we won't see from here. This digit means this digit is hidden. No words allowed. What is this? This digit hides this digit. So this digit is definitely invisible. So I need to see all the other digits, right? Because no matter what happens here, this is invisible, and I have to see all of the other digits. And if I put a 4 here, I won't be able to see the 3 wherever it is. So I think that's a 3, and that's a 2, and that's a 1, and that's a 2. So this 2 is invisible. That's a 1, and that's a 2, which is fine for the 5. We need to see all of these digits, though, right? Right now I only see 2. I need to see 3. Doesn't that just force this to be 4, 5, 6? 4 has to go next to 1. That's not a 4. If this is a 3, it has to be double 6, but that seems okay. So embarrassed by what happened earlier. Good heavens. That's still okay. So this seems all right. This digit is not 1, 2, 3, 5, or 6. This digit just is 4. So this digit is definitely invisible. So we have to be sequential here. So this is definitely 2 and this is definitely 3. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. So I think we're okay in that regard. We need a 6 up here and a 1. We did get a 3 in the corner. This is the other half of the 4 or 5 pair. So this is a 6. We have a 5 down here. Need a 6 and a 3. My mind just fully, I don't know what happened to me. I had some sort of small seizure that meant that I could not tell the difference between skyscrapers and numbered rooms. I just couldn't do it. Need a 6 in here. So this is only a 5, but that's okay because that works out. The 4 works out next to the 1. That's okay. It's very validating. We need a 6 here and a 3 here. We need a 2 here and a 4 here. We need a 1 and a 3. And we need a 4 and a 2. Okay. I don't know why my brain just fell to pieces, but it was very smooth. Like, if you just didn't make a silly mistake like I made, it was very smooth. The skyscraper pressure is interesting. I mean, in this case, those are very aggressive skyscrapers. Thank you, Scojo. Having to see 5 out of 6 digits is an interesting little party. Okay, so I assume it's 5-5. Yes, beautiful. Okay, we've got one more from the series. Blobz, if you're watching this, I'm really enjoying these. Okay, if this switches back to numbered rooms, I might have to stop the stream. It's worse. He switched to a 3rd rule set. Blobz, how can you do this to me? Why can you treat me like this? Now they're not skyscrapers. Oh man. Okay, they're not what a silly thing to be so hung up on. Sorry, they're probably hard to see on the stream. I should have caught that sooner. I think we can fix that relatively easily though. That's the board. Yeah. So, yes, these are not, that sort of came out in a crazy way. These are not skyscrapers, nor are they number rooms. They are the much more common X sum, and I'm gonna definitely screw this up, which is pretty exciting. Okay, so these 6 sums have to be either 1, 2, 4, or 5. Well, either they're 2-4 pair or 1-5 pair. I guess it's the same person way to say it. So we have another crazy whisper. It's kind of interesting how this whisper comes together. And we have X sums. So we've got in addition to these 6 sums, the thing is, these could be 1, 2, 3s, right? Well, no, it couldn't. Okay, so that's interesting. So this can't be 1, 2, 3 to make 6, because that would put a 4 or 5 pair down here. So this is definitely a 2 cell. So this is also 1, 2, 4, 5, right? So this is a 3, 6 pair. Is that true? Is that a true statement? Because we couldn't, if we put a 3 here, it'd be 3, 2, 1. So we're saying it's a 2 cell sum. So then that means this has to be 2, 4, right? Good. The sum of the first X digits were X. Yeah. So we're saying it has to be, 2, 4. And so that ends up as that has to be a 1-5 pair. And we're going to have, thank you for the validation, Scojo. Truly thank you, because I definitely feel like I'm going to screw up having not thought about X sums for a while. So this side, though, could be 3 with a 2, 1. As could this, right? This could be 3, 2, 1. This could be 3, 2, 1. Oh, well, let's not think about that. Let's think about the fact that we know this, because this is low. So this is low and this is high. Oops. And 3 requires double 6s, I think. 2 requires either a 5, 6 pair or double 6s or double 5s. So doesn't that mean this has to be double 5? 5 means this can't be a 3, so it's 1, 2. 5 means this can't be a 3, so it's 1, 2, which checks out. So it's 2 plus 4 is 6 there. That's got a low friend. We're going to end up with more low digits over here because there's definitely not a 6. Well, we don't have 4 or 5, so we can't make this in 2 digits. So this has to be 3, 2, 1. And that has to be a 6. And this doesn't have 5, 1, so this has to be 4, 2. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh no. What did I do? What did I do? You're right. I'm sorry. That is completely true. I don't know the order of this yet. Which is good you called that out because I was about to make a mistake. Thank you. I don't know the order of this yet. This is forced because of the X sum, but anything after that is fair game. But that still means this isn't 1, 2, 3, right? It still means there's definitely not 1, 2, 3 because of that. It still means this is definitely not 5, 1. So it is definitely 4, 2. So it is 2, 4. Right? If that's not a 4, that's not a 2. So this is, that is 3 digits summed to 6, 2 digits summed to 6, 2 digits summed to 6, right? To go next to a double 6, this can be anything. Going next to 2 means only a 5 or a 6. Going next to a 6 can be anything. Oh, no, it can't. That's just a 1. So there's no 1 in here, so there's no 5 in here. So that's another 4, 2. That is a 5. That is a 1. That is a 4. So that is a 2. This is a 3 next to a double 6, which is fine. That is a 2, so that is a 4. So that is a 5. So this is the other half of the 1, 2 pair. So it's a 1 and that's a 2, which is okay next to the 5. That is a 1 and a 3. This is a 6, so this is a 6. So that's a 4. That's a 3. That's a 5. That's a 1. That is a 4. That is a 5. This is how long these puzzles are supposed to take, I think, and I've been taking way too long in them. The miracle is that I did not mistake these for anything other than X sums. So maybe by actually being a tertiary rule set, I was saved. I don't want these to be over. Oh no. I'm not ready yet. Uh-oh. What's wrong? What did I do wrong? Row 6? Did I make a mistake? Wait, what is wrong here? It's row 6 and column 6. Did I just paste the wrong thing? Okay, I must have just pasted something silly. Sorry about that. Easy. Very nice. Okay, that is Blobz snack series. That was lovely. Lovely little snack. I feel like I want to do one more like harder puzzle. Should I do a Blobz puzzle? Or Helio or Scojo, do you have any recent puzzles that I should tackle? Oh, there is a new Blobz as is yes. Oh, a new galactic map. Wow, 100% rating on this galactic map. But I want if either of you have it does look sweet. I don't know that I'm emotionally ready for it. I'm not ready. Well, and I only say that because I think I don't know that did I do this previous galactic map? I feel like I'm a couple galactic maps behind. I did somebody's galactic map. Did I do the Blobz one? Maybe I did it on my phone and not here. Scojo, give me a link. Okay, I'm going to take a very short bathroom break, and then I would like to do... Either way, I'm glad to do either one, but I'll be right back. I'll do one of the two of you puzzles. Hello there. Wrong camera settings. Okay, we're gonna do a Scojo puzzle. Let's do it. Scojo, if these, if there's skyscrapers or numbered rooms in this, I don't know what I'll do. Panic. Oh, I love it already. I'm excited about it already. Okay. Oh no, anti-queen. Oh no. Okay. So the quadruples I'm already excited about. I just am in a very quadruple mood. I see quadruples all over the place. I'm excited about that. What difficulty rating would you give this puzzle? So anti-queen. Digits 8 and 9 may not be a chess move away from another of the same digit anywhere in the grid, meaning any diagonal in the grid can only have a maximum of 1 8 and a maximum of 1 9. Interesting. I've never thought of anti-queen in that way, or like the way you put it here. It's very obvious that, like, you know, Sudoku is fundamentally... Well, wait, why is it anti-queen and not just anti-bishop? Because Sudoku is always anti-rook, right? I mean, the queen's implicit, right? Half of the queen is implicit. Okay, I'm excited about this. So, where do we start? The way I normally start things like this, well, we have a triple already, right? 2, 4, and 8. And the 2 is in here. And 1. Okay, am I doing this right? 2, 4, 8, 2, 4, 8. So it's a 2, 4, 8 triple down here. And now we need to get 1 and 9 up here for 1, 9 pair. But somewhere in here we have to have a 3. So we have 2, 4, 8 and a 1, 9 pair. So we get a 1, 2, 6 triple here. No, that's not right. It's not 2. 1, 5, 6 triple here. So the 1, 7 has to come from somewhere else in the world. Well, that was a fun start. I mean, I don't mind it being anti-queen. Anti-queen is a cool name. I was just trying to reason through the terminology. Okay, so we have a 1 and an 8. I'm sorry. 2 and 8. Well, I said 1. 2 and 8 have to end up down here. And we have... Oh, we get it. Oh, fun. I don't want to think about that yet. We'll pencil mark it in a second. We have 1, 3, 9 going this way. Oh, Scojo. I like this already. And then over here we have the 2, 8. They're going to put 2, 8 here. And then we have to place the 4. So we get the 4. So we have... Oh no, lyrics. Sorry. I'm apologizing to myself because I'm the only one who doesn't like it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have... This is a 5, 6, 7. Oops. A 5, 6, 7 triple. Is that a true statement? I think so. Okay, so now do we have to like actually start thinking with our whole entire brains, or can we get away with more of this fun stuff? We have... Well, we know the 2's up here, right? We have the 2 and the 2, puts the 2 up here. We have a 1 and a 1, puts the 1 down here. Well, in there, right? The 1 part of this goes in there. That is a lot of digits accounted for in here. So these two digits are not 1, 2, 3, or 4. So these are 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh. What did I do? Oh, I'm sorry. I pencil marked 1 here when I meant to do 7. Good grief. Sorry about that. Okay, I think that was just a dumb pencil mark. I think all the logic was right. It was just a bad pencil mark. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, thank you. That would have been an exciting thing to discover in 20 minutes when I get back over there. Okay, so these end up being 5, 6, 7s, which is sort of interesting from the 2 perspective. Well, it's very interesting from the 2 perspective, actually. So that, yeah, well, another way to see that, the 2s are spoken for in these 2 boxes, and 2 is spoken for in this box. So this is a 2. And I think the same thing happens to the 1. One of these has to be a 1, but the 1 lives over there. So that's the 1. That means the 7's in there somewhere. And similarly means the 7 is in there somewhere. One of these digits gets to escape into the party, I think. Yeah, because there's no shared digits. Okay, so we have the 4 is down here. 1, 3. 3 is up here. Scojo, this is really, it's almost suspiciously smooth. Now that I say that, I'm going to get completely stuck. I should know better than to ever say, this is going really smoothly. The 2 is there. 2 lives in here. I don't know that I actually know anything about that. 1 is obviously in here. That's a not useful statement to make in the world. Oh, anti-queen. I do need to, right. Oh shoot, I haven't even thought about anti-queen yet. Okay, let me finish my survey of quads, and then I will think about anti-queens. Which just instantly, now that you've reminded me that this puzzle has an anti-queen constraint, is pretty nuts on this diagonal. Just all the pressure it's going to put on those quads. So does that mean, I just want to think about what that means for a second. Like this diagonal, okay, I don't feel emotionally ready to, let me finish looking at quads, and then I'll start thinking about that in earnest. I see that strange things are afoot at the Circle K, but the thing I wanted to think about for a second is like these exclusionary friends. Like this needs an 8, but it can't, but maybe that doesn't actually help us yet. It almost does. No, it does. It does. Okay. So for example, 8 here, we've already said there's no 8 here. There's no 8 here. And there's no 8. Sorry, there are 8s here, here, and here. Sorry, here, here, here. So this has to be the 8. So do we have a similar situation with 9s? We do. We have 9, 9, and 9. So that rules 9 out of all of these. So this has to be the 9. And then what? Pardon me. The 2 and the 4 there, and the 1 and the 3 there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Keep clearing my. Oh, you got it by anti-queen. This particular one. I admittedly have just not quite wrapped my head around the broader implications of that yet. But it doesn't it mean, I mean, I'm just trying to think of like if that forces a, does that force a 9 onto this diagonal or no? Like, is it possible for me to get away with this without a 9 here at all? Oh, there's a 1. Oops. There's no 1 in there. I was just trying to decide if that forces a 9 here. Like, if that's going to require something to be on a diagonal, but I don't know that I feel like that is a truth, a fundamental truth. Okay. I do want to think about... I still feel like I haven't fully addressed all the quads yet. But maybe that's not true. I mean, I'm sure there's more to be gleaned from them. We did get year 1. So there's a 7. Right, we talked about that. But there's a 7 situation. Okay, well, in just like, I just want to think about 8s, I guess, for a second. Like 8s that I know about. So this is going to also see these, and also see these, and also see these, and see these. And see these, and see these. Was that immediately useful? I mean, I see that we've got some 8 pressure there. There's definitely 8, like across one of those. But I just don't know that I see... Is that like causing harm? I don't know. Oh, wait. Good grief. Is this right? How did I get a 3 up there? How did I get this? Did I do something backwards? Wait, how did I get this 3? Now I truly don't remember. Oh, it's because of, right, 3 and 3 and 3. So this, good grief. Okay, this is 2, 4, 8. But this can't be the 8 because of the queen sees it. And this is 1, 3, 9. And this can't be the 9 because the queen sees it. And so that means that I definitely have a 9 in here, and I definitely have an 8 in here, which seems reasonable. But that means I also have an 8 over here. And I also have a 9 over here. How does that work with these friends? Remember that one's a little restricted to, or also, it's 2, 4, 8. So that's not 2 or 4 or 8 or 1 or 3 or 9. What are these digits? So this digit is not 1, 3, 9, and it's not the 4 that I got. and it's not a 2 because it's in the box, and it's not an 8 because I've said there's an 8 up there for reasons. So that is another 5, 6, 7. And is the same thing true here? It's not 1. This one could be 2, though. No, it can't. Can't be 2. Can't be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Could be 5, 6, 7. Can't be 8. Can't be 9. So that's also 5, 6, 7. So you have 2, 1, 3, 9. I don't know if that's actually useful, but that's what I see. Okay, sorry, I'm missing things. What am I not paying attention to? Yeah, this business, or sorry, this, when we had lit up all of the isn't there a thing you can turn on that shows that? Is that cheating? Is there a thing that like highlights what is that called? Why am I not seeing this? Show scene cell. Okay, right. That at least does some of the scene cells, but really we see a lot more. So maybe I don't really want that on because it's not actually that useful because it's not really taking into account. I mean, it kind of works, but it's not taking into account the quads. Now I don't even know how I turned it on. Okay, right. So we had that weird cross-party business going. I should probably be thinking about queens and diagonals. I mean, presumably we have the same thing. We know there's a 9 here. We know there's a 9 here. This person's 9 is spoken for. There's a 9 seen by all the... Oh, right. I mean, to be highlighting. Not highlighting this the way I meant to. You know there's 9 in there. This person's 9. I think I did that not correctly. We know there's 9 in there. We know there's 9 in there. Diagonally. Well, right. I should just pencil mark this, right? I mean, this one of those is surely a 9. I don't want to pencil mark the weird cross box ones, but and one of those is surely an 8. Is that going to fight with somebody? I don't quite know. I was about to say something about 5, 6, 7, but I don't think I quite know it. The 9. I feel like I've lost the thread a little bit. I'm gonna refine the thread. I'm gonna go through each of the quads and think about them because I still feel like I didn't address everything. We have the 3. The 2 is definitely down here. We know we've got a triple there with the 8 over here. Yeah, we saw all of these end up down here, so that was all good. The 6. One of these is definitely a 6. Right? We've got 5, 6, 7 up here. So we have the 6s up here, and there's a 6 up here. So one of those is a 6. The 1, the 2, 3, 4. The 5, we don't know about. The 6 is down here. 7 we don't know about. 8's in there. 9's over here somewhere. Oh no, you're definitely no apologies. I just have a hard, for whatever reason, my brain feels more oriented to quads than queenliness, and I just feel like I've missed something. So I just want to run through them really quickly. It probably is time to be thinking more about queens, but I just have this nagging suspicion that I've missed some important piece of quadliness. 7 was in there, but I don't think we cared about that. 5, we already took care of the 8. And it's kind of interesting to think about what happens with the, like if you try to put a 9 here, it sees this and this, but it still feels like you could have a 9 here. You could have a 9 here and then have the 9 just be up there. The 8, we need the 1 and the 3, but those don't feel very constrained yet. Same thing here. Did we really learn anything from this? I'm assuming we're going to have some similar friend mushed down here. It's going to be the 5 in this case, because the 5 is up here and the 5 is in here, so one of these is going to be the 5. It doesn't help very much. Okay. So when we were thinking about the 8, we saw that there's some strange diagonal X-wing happening, which is interesting on this one because it does rule out it rules out 8s across this diagonal, but I don't know that I care about that just yet. Ugh, should I highlight that again? This 8 sees all of these people. Sees those people. Sees these people. It's a lot of people. That does slightly constrain this 8. Have that 8 there. I feel I'm just missing something. Definitely have an 8 here. Which does constrain 8 over here a little. Oh, good heavens, what am I missing here? The 8 and the 9. I mean, it'd be sort of interesting. Just wondering about some of these digits that see. Maybe they're not as constrained as I think they are. Like this is not 1, 3, 9, 2, or 8, right? Because it sees this 1 through. Oh, let's just think about these for a second. It's not 1 or 2 or 3. Could be 4. Could be 5. Could be 6. Could be 7. not 8 or 9. So that's just 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the 8's going to be in there. Oh, I do. You're right. You're right. Thank you. Somehow I decided 5 lived up here for reasons. Who knows how I did. Oh, well, okay. Right, right. Even aside from that, 5 doesn't live here. There's no 5 there. 5 is eaten over here. 1, 3, 5, 9. I should have just seen that immediately. So that's 4, 6, 7. And there's going to be similar business over here. 2, 4, 6, 8 are immediately eaten. Just because of this. And then we also have the 1 pencil marked. I feel like there's one more thing we should have removed here. The 9, because of queenliness. So we have a 4, 6, 7, and a 3, 5, 7. Definitely a 1 in there. Okay, so these are not that constrained. I was hoping to get more than that. I mean, like, this still removes 2, 4, 6, but it just doesn't see anything coming from the other direction. So we have 1. Well, okay. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. So this just is 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Oh, Scojo, I feel bad. I feel like it was going so smoothly, and then just... We also have 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, but it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 9 instead. Feels pretty yeah, like 1s and 3s. Well, yeah, sure. Where did is that right? Okay, sorry. The bottom 5s. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. Here. No 5s here, right? Because we said there are 5s here, and it's gonna be the same thing with these 6s. No 6s here. So that's 6, 7, 8. That's 5, 7, 9. Is this actually true? Does that mean that this is a 1, 3 pair? Or did I screw up somewhere? We need the other half of this 1, 3 pair somewhere in this column, and it's not up here, and it's not here, and it seems to not be here for reasons. Yeah, because that's not a 1 or a 3. So this is the other half of a... Oops, not you. You're the other half of a 1, 3 pair. And does that mean that this is the other half of a 2, 4 pair? Where's the other half of this 2, 4 pair? It's definitely not in here. So that's the other half of that 2, 4 pair. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8 with the 8 down here. We have a 2, 4 pair. The other half of which is also in here. Like this 2, 4's buddy is in here. It's not here. Like this digit is not 2, 4, 8, or 9. Do have 6s in here. Whoa. Oh, I feel like I'm just missing something so silly. It feels like there's going to be some... Once I see it, it just feels like there's going to be places where it becomes very obvious that 9s are too powerful. If you put them in a certain place, you know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, if you put an 8 here, it's gonna see like 90% of the board, and I'm just not seeing that with my eyeballs very well. So this column is the other part. It's the missing other portion of the 5, 6, 7, and it's also the other half of the 1, 3 pair and the 2, 4 pair. And then the other half, like this 2, 4 goes with 8 here, and this 1, 3 goes with 9 here. The other halves of them, I mean. So thinking about that for a second, like thinking about 9s, aggressive 9s. Like if I put a 9 here, I'm sure there's a cleaner way to do this, but just to think through it for a second. If I put a 9 here, and then this 9 is also seeing these and these, and I have to have a 9 in there. So I guess that's still possible if I have a 9 here to put my 9 there. But if I put the 9 here, maybe that's still okay. I already forgot where I said I put the 9. Flinty, how's it going? Using colors, that may not be a bad idea. I mean, especially in terms of, I mean, we have 8s and 9s, but let's do it. Like who's allowed, where we're allowed to have a 9. There's definitely a 9 up here. There's definitely a 9 in here. Definitely a 9 over here. Definitely a 9 here or here. This 9 sees this one, but I think we can still have a 9 in here. Maybe. I mean, I can see where we're like, there's pressure for sure, but I just am not quite seeing the firmness of the pressure. Especially with this like little zigzag. We have one, right? This one's a weird one though, right? Like pencil marking this is tricky. We know there's a 9 here or here. This feels like the key. Like this little bow tie just feels too important. This feels like a critical bow tie. We know that's not 2, 4, 9, but it's still 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, which is a lot of digits. And then 8s, yeah, this one's just, I don't really want to pencil mark this, but this just feels, it clearly seems super intentional. I mean, it's sort of interesting to think about if I do put 9 here, what happens to this box? Because then there's no 9s in there. There's no 9s in there. Just hard to know without this one. Oh, see, Scojo. Maybe I'll just color 8s while I'm at it. I mean, the symmetry of it is lovely. We have that same annoying thing here. We did see the, saw this earlier. Saw this. So maybe I need a higher level view of this in terms of no repetitions in any diagonal, especially since the rules call that out very explicitly. Maybe I need to be thinking of it very explicitly. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry. Symmetry is it's one of my favorite properties of the universe, I think. I'm very drawn to symmetry. I think all humans are to some. Oh, did the background stop spinning? Weird. Did the clock wrap or something? This, I don't think the weird little visual trick actually works anyway. I've just broken the background. It was a cool trick. We're having problems with OBS today. Oh, that's okay. Okay, so the thing I was just thinking about is thinking about it more from the perspective of diagonals, and like if we do something like this, the impact it has elsewhere in the puzzle, which is a very obvious thing to say in a Sudoku puzzle, but I just wasn't quite thinking it through that lens, through the lens specifically of the diagonals. So we have this crazy 8 situation. So there's definitely no other 8s. So where do we not know about 8s and 9s? Maybe that's the thing to think about. So we just haven't at all thought about where 9s are valid in here. They're obviously not valid here. But can we do better than that? Like, one of these is a 9, and it will have dire repercussions. Like, if we made this a 9, then that's not 9, and none of these are 9, and we end up with this little doodad. And I think the opposite ends up being true going the other way. But I still don't quite see it. I mean, again, just in terms of like, oh gosh, good grief. Okay, there's definitely, this is already a full quad. There's no 9s there. So really, either way that we put this, whichever place we put this 9, it's going to rule out everything in the row and the adjacent diagonal, the diagonal. And so it will kind of force to extremes either way. And that's going to be true down here with the 8s. So in like these can be, these can be 9s. And I think the same thing happens here, right? There's definitely no 8s in here, and there's no 8 here. So those can be 8s. Now what? We didn't highlight these 8s. Just trying to see what that means in terms of so there's like this little, it's not a pair. Well, maybe it does end up being a pair. The 6s and 5s. Just funny. So like over here, for example, we've got 9s in this neighborhood. And these two are under a lot of pressure because this one is seen by these two and diagonally by this, but it's not fully ruled out, I guess. It's just hard. There's just a lot of visibility, I guess. Okay, what am I missing? Some extremely obvious thing. This diagonal. What's going on in this diagonal, everybody? This 8 is going to see into there. I mean, I can see stuff like there's no 9s anywhere because of the bow ties. What are we missing here? This needs an 8 and 9, and this needs an 8 and 9. We know the 9 is on the little bow tie. Oh, okay. I think I kind of see. Okay, I see that 9 is definitely spoken for here. And on its like surrounding diagonals, okay, is this it? 9 is spoken for here and here, right? Because we have a little 9 kind of X. We even commented on this so long ago, and then I've done nothing with it. So that means these 2 digits are seen, right? Because one of these is 9, and one of these is 9. Yeah, I got Helio. We saw this so long ago, and you pointed it out, and then I was like, oh yeah, interesting. And then I just completely moved on with my life. I apologize. So these are seen, right? So those are not 9. Is that a fair statement? Like 9 could never be in there and 8 could never be in here. Is that the... Because the 8s will be seen in its little weird bow tie X-wing. The 9s will be seen. Yeah, that is really interesting. I'm embarrassed that I like, it's one of those things where it's like I acknowledge a thing and then do nothing to like explore the logic around it. So the problem is that you entranced me too much with the fun bouncing around of the quads, and then I just wasn't even able to think about the queen. So the problem is you made the first part of the puzzle too good. Okay, so what does that mean in the world? Right, okay, well, it's the thing we were just talking about. So in terms of where 9s are allowed to be in this neighborhood, right? No 9s are allowed to be down here. This digit is seen by both this digit and this digit. So wherever we put a 9 in here, it's going to see this digit. Is that true? It sees it diagonally here. So there's no 9s in there. Oh, I got to think more about box 6. Or is that what I'm already doing? Maybe I'm already doing it. Oh, sorry, you're saying some 9s in box 6 look into box 1 and box 9. Wait, some 9s in box 6 look into box 1? I'm a little bit lost with that statement. But I think it means that I think what I just said is true, right? Well, okay, sorry, we can do more with this. Let's just keep following through. With this land, we already knew that there's a 9 here, so it's definitely not 9 there or there. This 9 sees those two, right? And what we were just talking about is that this digit is seen by both of those digits. I feel like we're so close to this almost being useful, but not quite. Like, this digit is obviously seen by both of those, but we didn't think that was a 9 anyway. So there's a 9 in here. Can we do better than that? Feels like we should be able to do better than that. But maybe I can't. Putting a 9 here. I don't know. And kind of this 8 is going to see those two. This 8 is going to see those two. And whichever 8 this is going to see this, and that'll be 8. But I feel like I've not carried that deduction through to its conclusion. Okay, we already knew that that was up there. We already knew that that was down there. All right, it's got to be more diagonal hunting you can do, right? Just looking, trying to decide if there's a place that like assassinates other 8 possibilities. Which I'm sure there is, and I'm just not seeing it. This is not 1, 3, 2, or 9, or 8. Right? It's not 1, 2, 3. And it's not 9 or 8, because we know where those are in the box. It's not 5, because 5 is down here. So it's 4, 6, or 7. Presumably that means that this is going to be a 3, 5, 7 as well. It's not 1, 2, could be 3. It's not 4, could be 5. It's not 6, could be 7. Can't be 8, can't be 9. So that's 3, 5, 7. Six is definitely in here. Those are your evens. So one of these is 6, and then the other is the rest of that. Oh, good heavens. Seven in there, 7 in there. We don't know a tremendous amount about 7s. We know where some 7s aren't. Now, I feel like we gotta just think more about diagonals, right? I'm just missing things. Like, I see the pressure. Under pressure. Like, putting a 9 up here forces a 9 here. Forces a 9 here. Like, it feels like it bounces around the grid in a pretty wild way. Sorry, Helio, I don't think I understood what you meant when you said that 9s in box 6 look into box 1? Your 9s are here. Okay, so one of these 9s. Interesting. Maybe I see what you mean. Or like that relationship kind of passes through the world, right? So, I'm sure 8s do the same thing. So, you can almost do the... It just doesn't feel like it quite works. The same logic where we had... Well, okay, I'm not sure this is right, but I just want to think about it for a second. Like, we have a similar setup that in these diagonals, all of our 9s are spoken for, right? So this just has a 9 in it, and then one way or another, those are both spoken for. But I don't know that really is a credible deduction. We have a 9 in this diagonal. This one almost feels that way, but it feels like it doesn't quite work. Maybe I'm wrong about that. We definitely have a 9 in this diagonal. We have another diagonal where we know there's a 9. We definitely have a 9 in this diagonal. The problem is this 9 can escape, I think. Well, that was very obvious anyway, just because of the quads. That there's just no 9s, you know, in this neighborhood. But I don't know that I really thought there were 9s in this neighborhood. These digits are a little interesting. Yeah, those are a little interesting. So those aren't 1, 2, 8, or 9. right? They're not 1 or 2. They're not 9. They're not 8. I was hoping that would help with something else, but seems like no. I think I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to just aimlessly pencil mark for a minute and hope my eyes grasp onto something. But I may take you up on that offer, but not quite yet. I mean, it felt like I was getting somewhere. I had those pairs. We had those 2-4 pairs. We had the 1-3s. Maybe that's not really the thing to think about, but yeah, these are just maybe not that cool. It's going to be the same thing over here, right? Where it's not 1, 2, 8, or 9. So it's not, they're not 8 or 9. They're not 1 or 2. So it's just also 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that's a little interesting for where 8s and 9s can go. There's definitely no 8s or 9s in here or here. I don't remember why. Why did I say this couldn't be an 8? It definitely had a reason, and now I don't remember what it was. Why did I say that? Why aren't these 8s or 9s? I'm thinking about 9s in here. Those definitely couldn't be 9s. Oh, right. It's because of this. This little friend says that that couldn't be a 9. And this friend said that couldn't be a 9. That's why. That's why. So there's an 8-9 pair. Distributed across there. But what? I feel like the 9 could still escape. I still am not. I just don't quite have my head wrapped around like how the kind of exclusion is going to work. Or, you know, like what if there's going to emerge some kind of pattern in the diagonal that would require a 9. like once the 9s are fully laid out. I just want to think about that for a second. Maybe this is nonsense, but like just thinking about the diagonals that exist in this puzzle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't know. Really thought about that before. There's 17 diagonals. Yeah, what I was trying to talk myself through is if I thought that I was going to end up with it with like a requirement that there was a 9 on this diagonal. I just don't think that's true. Obviously, I can't have 2, but I think 0 is fine. Okay, what is the problem, friends? If this is a 9, this is forced to be a 9, and this is forced to be a 9. If this is a 9, it's 9, 9. I'm sorry, 8. Sorry, 8, 8, 8, 8. And that seems okay. If this is an 8, then what? Then nothing. It doesn't seem to have the same pressure. Oh yeah, this secret 9. There's a sneaky 9 hiding up there, like a little bandit in the darkness, and we know that is part of this invisible 9 X-wing. We just don't know which way it goes. So this definitely either is a 9 or definitely sees a 9. Which rules those out. There's some extremely obvious diagonal. Eight is pretty constrained in this row. Oh, shoot. Oh, I thought I had it for a second, but I do not have it. It's close, but okay. Just thinking about the relationship of this with this and like what that causes in the upper stratosphere. For example, if this is an 8, then this is an 8, so this must be an 8. Right? If this is an 8, it's 8. That's not an 8. This is an 8. This is an 8. If this is an 8, then this is the 8. But it doesn't see anybody over there. Like these guys looking like this, it just feels so... Just knowing that one of these is for sure an 8. But this 8 can escape over here like a little bandit into the night. What I'm saying with confidence is that these are not both 8. That is a. You can take that to the bank and do some banking there, I guess. 8s are definitely spoken for. It's not true. No, it's not, because it could escape. So that's the problem, is it's not definitely spoken for. Something a little bit similar, like if this is a 9, then this has to be the 9. And this, if this is the 9, then this has to be the 9. This has to be the 9. This has to be the 9. Similarly, if this is a 9, it still sees this. So this has to be the 9, 9, 9. But if this is the 9, then this is the 9. This is ruled out. And then there's just a 9 X-Wing. Keep it going. Uh-oh. Is there something useful up here? What are we doing up here? The interplay of these. It's annoying because it almost... Yeah, the well, just to say, like, all 3 of these options rule this out as a 9. So whether the 9, whichever case, wherever I put the 9 in there, oh, okay, wait, I think I'm almost onto something. Yeah, okay. If I put a 9 in any one of these, okay, this is almost a thought. This is like the first coherent thought I've had in an hour or something. None of these 9s, one of these is always a 9, I think is what I'm trying to say. Because either this just is a 9, right? And I have put a 9 there. Or this digit, and this digit see this, so I put a 9 there. So this is never a 9, I think, is the thing I'm trying to tell you. I don't think this is ever a 9. And because I think that, I think I'm going to try to tell you that this can never be an 8 for the same reason. Because either this just is an 8 and it sees this, or this is an 8, or this is an 8, or this is an 8. All of those can see this. So if I put an 8 here, this is definitely an 8. If I put an 8 here, so this is never an 8 also. So that, what does that do? We just took 9 out of here. So we squished our 9 a little bit. And in terms of where 9 can live in the column now, one of these is always a 9, for sure. What does that mean? One of these is always a 9. just don't quite intercept anywhere that is super helpful. Just trying to look at the places where they align, but I'm not immediately seeing any. Now, but does that mean we now have that X-wing that we wanted earlier? It does. Right? Because in these two diagonals, this diagonal and this diagonal, we know we already have 2 9s. I feel like that doesn't really rule anything out for me. We know we have this situation going with all of these. We've spoken for all of these 9s, right? This diagonal looks like a beautiful phoenix. Gosh, that feels pretty freaking close. One of those is always a 9. I thought that was going to go further. I really did. It definitely puts some pressure on 9 in this column. But it's just the thing we already just stated, right? That one of these is definitely a 9. So one of these is definitely a 9. This is definitely a 9. If this is the 9, then this is the 9. And this is the 9. If this is the 9, then this is the 9. It just doesn't quite seem to reach across. Just trying to like reduce this. It feels very close to being like forcing the 9 in the middle or something. But I don't quite. Oh, well, maybe I do actually. Hang on. If this is the 9, then this is the 9. Okay. If this is the 9... Oh gosh, no. It's so close. Hang on. I feel like I'm close here. If this is the 9... This 9 is looking this way. Then this is the 9. It pushes it to the top. Then it's top. It's like this, up, up. But if this is the 9, that can't work. It feels very close. It feels like there's almost something here with the way like these two digits look over here versus the way these two digits look over here. And I'm just not quite seeing it somehow. Like this 9 sees the top one, sees this, makes this the 9. So it's the bottom. Which makes total sense because it's a pair. Just they like pairs weirdly asymmetrical because of this. But this C is that. So this is the 9. And I know this is the 9 because that sees that. In that scenario, that one, that is the 9. So is there an option reduced here? Is that true? And I'm just not articulating it well. Excuse me. If this is 9, then this is definitely 9. If this is 9, this is definitely 9. If this is 9, then this is 9, which sees this. So this is 9. So am I saying this is never 9? This digit? Because if I put a 9 here, then this is a 9 and this is a 9, but that sees both of these, so it breaks. So I think what I'm saying is that this is never a 9. And I assume that that means this can never be an 8 for the same reason, because if I put an 8 here, then this is an 8 and this is an 8. So both of these would be seen by 8s. So this can't be 8. Which is exciting, I guess. It's at least getting more constrained. So what does that mean? Feels like I'm closing into some pressure here. Like, if this is a 9, then one of these is a 9. Yeah, if this is a 9, then this is a 9. And this is a 9. And this is a 9. So this is the 9. Let me try that one more time, but I think that really reduces these options. So either this just is a 9, and that's the 9 for this box, right? Or it's not, I'm saying 9. I'm just saying no in German. 9! Okay, here's the thing. If this is a 9 right here, it's just a 9 for this box, right? For sure. But I'm also saying that if this is a 9, not the 9 for this box, right? Then that means this is a 9. Because it would see this, so this becomes a 9. Which means this is a 9, right? Which would see this, so this is a 9. So these are never 9s. Right? Because either 9 is here and it sees all 3 of these, or 9 is up here and it sees this, which makes this a 9, which makes this a 9, which makes this a 9, which sees both of these. So these are always seen by a 9, is what I'm going to argue. And we'll go through the motions, but I feel pretty confident that 8s are going to be the same problem. If this is an 8, it just is an 8. If this is an 8, then this is an 8, so this is an 8. It'll see this, so this is an 8, so it sees both of those. So these are never 8s. So I feel comfortable coloring these now to be our 9s, which means this is never a 9. So now we have 9 in here, so that's an improvement. And 8s are here, which see this. Which is an improvement. Freaking 7. 7 has been useless in this puzzle, I have to say. 7 is a real disappointment. Okay, but that really restricted where our 8s and 9s can go, right? I mean, that feels like that was a beneficial... I'm sure there was an easier way to see that, but that feels like that did some work. We know that there's a pair in here, right? That's a requirement. So we have we have 1 8 that is spread across there. We have 2 8s that are accounted for here. We have 2 8s that are accounted for here. So that's 5 of our 8s. 6 of our 8s. 7 of our 8s. Yeah, I don't know why I'm counting these because it should be obvious because we have an 8 in each box. But that does, this is a pair as well. So we have these pairs doing pair stuff. So now what do we do? It feels like we should be able to start seeing things that cause a ruckus. But it sort of feels like there's not enough information right now. Like this 9 causes a ruckus. Okay, maybe we're to the point where it's going to end up the same either way. Meaning, that was an inarticulate way to say this. If we know that one of these is definitely a 9. We know that one of these is definitely a 9. But so what? You just don't see the same thing. Putting a 9 here means this is a 9, which means this is a 9. Helio, how's it going? I just made a breakthrough that feels like took way longer than it should have, but basically was able to see, I'm sure there's a better, easier way to see this, but that there was like this, I don't even know how to describe it. Basically, we could see that if this is a 9, it saw all the other 9s in the box, but that if this was a 9, it cascaded around the puzzle in such a way that it saw all the other 9s in the box. So we were able to reduce 9 to 2 places, which was exciting. I was excited. And then that let us limit here. So we're newly limited, especially in terms of like these rows. We have really restricted 9s, which is great. What I was just trying to decide is if having cut off some of those other options, we have lots of pairs now. So like that is a pair of 9s. This is a pair of 9s. This is a pair of 9s. So the thing I was just, and this is, one of these is 9 and one of these is 9, obviously. Is that the thing you were trying to get me to look at 100 years ago? That you saw like an hour ago and I just didn't see? I see it now. You are all too patient, but I do appreciate that. Stick a 5 in the middle? You think this is a 5? Is it? Is that a true statement? It's bold. Bold of you. Actually, there's something to that. I mean, I love the symmetry, but whatever we put here, whether it's a 5 or whether it's 5, 6, or 7, would force pairs because we'd have a 5, 6, 7 triple. That's sort of interesting. Well, one of these is just forced to be a pair, right? One of these is going to be forced to be a pair. Because if this is 1, 3, 5, 6, or 7, then the 2, 4 is going to get pushed. So one of these, one or both of these is a pair. I don't know if that matters to anybody, but I think it's cool. Okay, so we saw what Helio saw 700 years ago today. It's the tricentennial. What does that mean? Just wondering, like, for peeking down. So we know about this little peeker. But I know we have this pair. Oh, is this the problem? Is this definitely a pair? Meaning, like, if I put 9 here, 9 is definitely here. 9 here, 9 is definitely here. Right? It's one of these two configurations. And the same is going to be true here. And if it's this way, it rules this one out. So is this, like, the symmetry breaker is going to be... I guess that's, I'm failing to see it. So 9 here or here, faux show. 8 in here, faux show. I guess we could think about other digits, but I don't want to. That would be funny, actually, if I had just missed some obvious quad. It would not be surprising. That is certainly not 8 or 9 or 2 or 4. But it still could be 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. And that one could be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. This just feels like it has a little more room to party. We know... oh, okay. Actually, it's more restricted than that, actually. Because we know 7 is in here. So it's not 7. And we know the same thing up here, that this is not 7. So there's a 7 in there somewhere. It's not the 1. We know the... we know where the 5 is. Anybody know anything about any 5s? I mean, the 6, the 5-6 situation up here feels so deliberate. But I failed to see it. Oh, good grief. Okay, well, here's a fun question for you all. Where's 2 in this box? Now that I should have seen that when we reduced these, when we dropped the 9 and the 8 out of these, then if we ask ourselves where this 2 goes over here, there's no 2 up here, and there's no 2 in this quad. So there's definitely a 2 in here, and that means this is a 4, and this is an 8. Good grief. No 4 there, no 2 there. So I don't really remember why I said the 2 had to be upstairs. Oh, because of this. This 2, so 2 is up here, but it's not there, so that's the 2. And then I think we have the same thing going on over... yeah, in the other friend. So we got the... this was because of the 2. So the 1... now I'm having trouble with the symmetry. It's hurting my brain. Oops. Okay, I gotta stand up in a second. I knew it. I knew it was old man Sudoku all along. I'm starting to think that that Sudoku governing body is actually just Scojo. Okay, sorry. Yes, this one. What does this one mean for the world? It means the following thing, that 1 is not here and 1 is not here, so 1 is here, which sees this. So this gives us the 3. There's no 3 here. There's the 9 we've been waiting for all of our lives, and that's gonna like do other stuff in a minute, but let's just clean up the grid a little bit before we talk about other stuff. Okay, the other stuff that I alluded to earlier was the following other stuff. That we now know this is a 9, and that sees this, so this is a 9. And that sees this, so this is a 9. And that means this is a 9. So all these pairs are going to come unpaired. Should just do that. Whoa, that was a bad shortcut. Weird. Okay, I'm just going to pretend that never happened. Okay, sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. So you're green, you're not a color, you're a 1. It's not easy being green. This 8 is going to make this an 8. And this a 2. And this is not an 8, so this is the 8. That's the 8. I should just do these. Did I miss a 9 somewhere? Probably. Not an 8. Not an 8. Not red. Oops. I'm having trouble with my pencil marks. Okay, so, did we not quite unfurl the corners? I lost my red. I guess we didn't undo this one yet. That doesn't feel true. Oh, we need to yeet some. We gotta yeet some 9s around the place. So you're saying 9 and 3. Right. Does it actually see it? Or we skirt right past it? This one definitely does. Right. For queens, the queen's gambit is to break everything in that box. Right. And then we should have the same thing with the 8s, right? Some 8. This 8 sees this. You are not an 8. You are not an 8. I am here with you. Green. Red. No. Okay. How are I feeling? That should not have been that hard to see. Especially, it's one of those things. I feel bad, Scojo, because it was so nice to like untie these, and then it just took me forever to actually see the. You don't like my Michael Jackson impression? Is that the one where it has like Lisa Marie Presley naked, and also maybe there's a tiger or something? That's a 5. This is a 2-4 pair, by the way. This is the other half of the 2-4 and a 6, so that's not the 6. I think it's naked Lisa. You Are Not Alone video. The problem is if I play 1 second of this song, I'm gonna like, what? Did you see that? The DMCA shut me down. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Am I still streaming? I just got shut down. Oh my gosh, what happened? I've destroyed the entire stream. I can't see chat anymore. This is what happens. I tried to look at a Michael Jackson video and was shut down from Beyond the Grave by Michael Jackson himself. Okay, maybe I can do this without ending the stream. Okay, sorry, I can't see chat right now because I've destroyed everything because Chrome is a terrible piece of software. At least Heat still works, right? Okay, no, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. We're back. I just need a link to the puzzle. Oh no, I don't. Shoot, I'm sorry. Could I have a link to the puzzle? Does anyone have a link to the puzzle? I don't think I have history turned on this browser. Maybe I do. No, I do. I got it. It's okay. Okay, we're here. Did we lose any progress? No. Let's get Pretzel going again. Man, never try to play Michael Jackson on stream. You will instantly be, your computer will be destroyed. Okay, can we do this? Okay, sorry everybody. That's kind of funny though. Okay, is everything on track? Do you see what happened? I just tried for like 2 seconds to watch a Michael Jackson video and was immediately, just the moment his face appeared on stream, was taken down. How do I get to it's definitely a thriller. Okay, let's see. We need to go to, I don't remember how to do stuff. Here? Wrong. Oh, come on. Look at this battle of civility. I mean, that was shocking. It was like an EMP from outer space the second I loaded that YouTube video. Okay. What are we doing? Does anyone remember how Sudoku works? I think we were trying to do this puzzle before I was digitally assassinated. Good heavens. Okay. Is everyone okay? Yeah, I just saw Michael's face for like a fraction of a second, and then suddenly everything was gone. It was all gone. This is 135, and we see the 3, and this is 246, and the 6 can't be there. That can't be a 4. Why do we have one more restriction? What did I miss? Because it was the other half of this pair. So we need the other half of the 1-3 pair. That's why that's not a 5. Oops. So that's not a 5. So that does push the 5 up here. So that's not a 5. Is that what we were? I think that's about where we were. This just is the 2. So this just is the 1. You are not alone. Okay. What else did we say about the world? There are 2-4 pair, 5-7 pair, 6 is in here. 6 is down here. Right, okay. 6 is definitely up here, and 6 is definitely here. So this is a 6. And I think we're gonna have the same problem. Well, we can just see it because of our pencil marks. That that's the 5. So we lose the 5 and 6. So I'm very sorry to say that it's not 5 in the middle. We did end up with the pairs, so that means this is the 7. No 7 there, no 7 there. Yeah, don't mess with the ghost of Michael Jackson. You will regret it if you live to regret it. 3, 5, 7. Here's my controversial take on Michael Jackson. It's not that controversial. I don't think the like short film for Bad is good. I think it's not good. I think the short film that leads up to Bad, where he's like at some fancy school and he comes home to his rough neighborhood, it's just not actually very good. It was directed by someone important. Like, who directed the Bad short film? It's like Scorsese or something. Yeah, it was an 18-minute short film written by novelist and screenwriter Richard Price, shot by Michael Chapman, and directed by Martin Scorsese. It's not good. Hot takes. There's a 1 in here, so this is a 5. There's a 2 in here, so this is a 6. So we get a 2-4 pair, and we should get a 1-3 pair. You're not a 5. You're not a 6. This feels very clumsy now. I'm sure I'm just missing obvious things. Did we actually do this? Like, did we do this properly? I think we got all 8s or 9s, and I think there's no crosstalk. Just eyeballing our... Oh, we needed a 7. Oh, interesting. So we get both of these 7s for free, which gives us this 6 and this 5, which knocks the 6 out of there, knocks the 5 out of there, knocks the 5 out of there, knocks the 6 out of here. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of Weird Al. I grew up in the like that. There was like the Dr. Demento stuff. How do I want to put this? I didn't have as much exposure to the 80s Weird Al, except, you know, just like ambient pop culture, whatever. But 90s Weird Al is like the Weird Al that definitely, especially around the whichever album had the Jurassic Park song on it. So that was like 94, 95. But I will say, even that Weird Al album from 10 years ago was amazing. And it's sort of sad that we've entered this era where Weird Al just can't, like, it's impossible to parody anything anymore. Because there's no, the monoculture is gone. So you can't have these giant singular hits. No TV growing up. It sounds like a good thing. That's why you're able to set incredible Sudoku puzzles now. I can't because I was watching like Full House or something. I did like, actually, speaking of, I did have a VHS of the videos from that, I think. And there's plenty of songs that I only have a concept, but even like the Weird Al, you know, with the Amish Paradise, all of those. I feel like late 90s was it's pretty wild that his career was going that hard that much later than when he got started. Like that was close to like 15, 20 years after his introduction to the world. Is that true? Like Robinson Crusoe, as primitive as can be? Do 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 do. No, how does that go? Not a modern luxury. It's primitive as can be. It's primitive as can be. Okay, I'm sorry. We probably just need to like think of these quads and be done, right? Or not. What do I have to do here? Is it just Sudoku? At a time like this? I don't want to do Sudoku. Big desert off-grid? That's pretty cool. I mean, I assume it was cool. I hope it was cool. Is everything okay? Were you in a cult? That's 2, 3, 5, 7. I did have a friend who grew up in a cult. 1, 4, 6, 7. And weirdly, later in life, I, on like a dating site, met someone who also grew up in the same cult as that friend. It was a weird, like, oh, cool, you also grew up in that cult. Neat. That's not the 1 and that's not the 2. I see. Okay, just living off the grid. That's okay. Okay, I apologize. This is the part where my brain refuses to do anti-government patriarch. Okay, yeah, so like kind of a cult a little bit. Right. Is Far Cry 5 about you and your family? So that's a force. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just focus and finish this puzzle because I feel like we've finished the puzzle and I just can't. What very obvious things am I missing? 5, 6, 7, 5, 7 pair. You have the 1, 4, 6. Am I just missing some 2, 3, 5, 4, 7? Is it just quads? Am I just not paying enough attention to the quads? We got a 1, 4. We get the 1, 3 across there. We get the 1, 3 there. We have the 6, 8, 9, so this doesn't matter. We have the 2 and 7. We know there's a 2 in here. We have the 1, 3 pair to go with the 8. We have the 1 in here with the 4, 6 that's left over there. We already have the 1, 7. We have that. We have that 2, 3. We have this 2, 4, 8. I know, I'm abusing this puzzle. I apologize, puzzle. Is it just Sudoku? Is it extremely obvious Sudoku? Is there just some triple that I'm missing? Probably. Why can't I see this? Is it time for 7s to save the day? Or 7's gonna suddenly be useless? Or useful? No. 4 is definitely here with a 6 or 7. 5 is definitely here with a 6 or 7. What am I missing here? We did end up with those pairs like we thought we would. I think we're done with 8s and 9s. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm at this point in the puzzle and I'm just getting stuck. Did I forget a rule? Is there just some silly triple that I'm not seeing? The middle 3 rows is we've got a mess. What in the world is wrong with me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I think I'm like at the end of my puzzle rope today. I was the Michael Jackson situation really really threw me off. How have I just forgotten how to do Sudoku? I'm gonna throw tomatoes at myself. I'm just making sure heat's working. Okay, so what is my problem? Did I forget a rule? Oh no, a sad deduction in box 9. This is a 6. The 6 over here paired with the other half of this 5-7. Oh, I see. Oh, because of this. I surely there's something I'm just missing. So we already addressed the anti-queens, right? Hopefully, unless I made a mistake, that would be such a sad story. If I had a, like if this was wrong, it would break my entire heart. I'm gonna just turn this thing on real fast. I mean, I didn't look very hard, but at a glance, it seems okay. That it feels like it's got to be that I missed a quad, right? Did I just miss a quad? I feel like, wait, get out of here. Turn off. Shoot. Two, 4, and a 1, 3. What in the world? There's this funny thing with like the 3s. I'm trying to think of what the last thing we actually saw was. So we got that, which kind of gave us this 3-5 pair and this 4-6 pair. There's this funny like 4-6-3-5. It doesn't quite work. I thought for a second I had like... There's something with this like the 4-6 arrangement with these. So I should be looking at box 8. Did I break something? Or am I just missing something? Oh, good grief. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I knew it had to be something silly like that. This 6-7 pair is looking right here. Good grief. Sorry. Should have seen that. Thank you. That is probably going to untangle the whole puzzle. I was just crossing that line where my eyes were sort of glazing over. And it felt, I mean, you saw me go through and it felt like it was a pair or a triple somewhere, but I just totally missed it. Okay, that's embarrassing. Oh, Scojo, this was such a good puzzle. I feel like I did a disservice to it, but there was really that interplay of the diagonals. I don't know if there was an easier way to see what I saw up here. That felt like a little more convoluted than it should have been, or at least my approach to it felt more convoluted than it should have been. Feels like there was probably an easier way to see that. Okay, well, everybody, thanks for your patience and thanks for your pointing out the very obvious 6-7 pair that I was missing. Thank you. Okay, I should go eat some food. Oh, I can't put the solution in for this, so I have to do the ridiculous thing that I do, which is this. Because I keep telling myself someday I'm going to automate entering solutions on Logic Masters, but yeah, but you're not the one on stream solving. It's not your responsibility to see the 6-7 pair that I'm blatantly missing. It's me. I take full responsibility. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Flinty and Helio and 24 and Scojo and Ben stopped by just for a moment in between listening to Baby Shark. And anybody else who stopped by, I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.